Welcome back to the channel. To bring perspective to our talk today, I'm going to refer to some universal principles that are innate within universal protocol for increased vibration and consciousness awareness for those souls who find themselves on Terra at the current time nexus. Reference is made to teachings by Eckhart Tolle and other spiritual guides who help Earth's awakened humanity to move forward toward the new Earth. There is an urgent necessity for these souls to raise their personal vibrations in order to resonate with the frequencies at which universal principles are imparted. There are both enhancements and hindrances to this process, and it'll be well worth it for awakened souls to process and implement the practices put forward for continued progress toward fifth density reality. I'll make mention here that while the details of the coming time frame are expressed in linear format, in reality all things in the universe happen simultaneously. However, for the mind-body-spirit complex's comprehension by the earthbound incarnate soul, it is necessary to express the time frame in a linear form. In one of Eckhart Tolle's presentations, he makes mention of two different realities of consciousness awareness. Number one is object consciousness. That is the stream of thoughts that flow via the voice in the head and carry with it the emotional impacts of each thought. Number two, space consciousness. That is the thoughts cannot be defined because they go beyond concepts. But it's the gaps between the words that bring value to the soul. Gaps that are facilitated by the voice in the head slowing down significantly so that the listeners, the awakened souls, can sense the implications of each thought. In my candid opinion, it's these implications that cause the soul to instinctively know what action to take when challenged by difficult situations. With all this being said, it is in fact the fact that in our immediate and short-term future, there will be great difficulties that will arise due to the increased desperation of the remaining deep state entities who have been cut off from their dark-minded masters, the latter having been banished from the solar system in late 2021 CE. The takeaway here is that there is an urgent need for all awakened souls to hunker down and find ways to increase their personal vibrations in order to meet or resonate at the level for the impartation of the universe's divine wisdom. Every awakened soul's contribution to the collective is going to be needed for the changes that are to come about in the world's current political, social systems and platforms. So much has to change in order to enable the disclosure of our extraterrestrial partners and their benevolent agenda for humanity. For humanity to take the giant leap forward toward a level 1 society that will facilitate the use of all the energy available from a neighboring star so that we can sustain an ongoing advancing Star Trek future. Let's talk about the following concepts. Number 1. Shifting the way you think, speak and act in your day-to-day experience. Number 2. Fully aligning yourself in thought, word and deed. Number 3. Accessing the limitless power of God, the universe. And number 4. Awakening to the pure truth of your oneness. Number 5. Avoiding unproductive negative thoughts. Number 6. Engaging in practices of sharing and stewardship. Let's deal with each one in order. Number 1. In order to shift the way you think, speak and act in your day-to-day experience, it'll be necessary to understand that you are shifting your entire perception of the world from the way you see it now to the way you need to see it in the future. At the moment, we are dealing with difficulties and challenges of how to protect ourselves from the loss of financial support and ownership of assets. We see a time frame within which the enemy of our souls is seeking to break down our values and our way of living. In the future, we will need to see the inherent opportunities all this will bring for us, and how we will be able to co-create our ideal situations with Source. Number 2, to fully align ourselves in thought, word and deed means that we must become the change we want to see and advance aggressively toward our dream for the future. Number 3, to access the limitless power of God, universe, will take a great measure of faith in the process of our co-creation. Number 4, awakening to the truth of who you really are is to know that you are a fractal of Source, a fractal that contains the fullness of Source, and to understand the journey you are on in granting Source the pleasure of knowing itself in every possible way. Number 5, to avoid unproductive negative thoughts will mean disciplining that voice in the head and putting the ego in its place. That is, we need to study how to avoid such hindrances and distractions as the ego tries to inundate our minds with worst and best scenarios. Number 6, to engage in the practice of sharing stewardship, we'll need to realize who we really are and how we can partner with the universe in bringing about a blueprint that will advance our journey through the periods of challenge and usher us into that golden age and new earth reality. With great regard for the process mentioned, I'd like to sum things up with the following explanation of the universal protocol. All souls on Terra, Earth, are subject to the third and fourth density consciousness, awareness, and vibration. There are currently fifth density souls here to help with oncoming ascension. They have, however, chosen to be limited to fourth density awareness. Many of these incumbent souls have vision status of the fifth density realm, but not from an operational consciousness awareness. That is, they can visualize the fifth density reality and allow its principles to assist the increase in vibration at the fourth density level, with the result of practical application in manifesting a thought into a physical reality. There will come a time within the linear form as previously mentioned, when these souls will graduate to the fifth density reality. That is, they will leave the souls who are in the process of ascension and who are involved in the changes of the Earth's political, social platforms and systems in favor of the New Earth protocols. The years from late 2023 to 2075 CE will characterize many of these changes. And so, my dear viewers, that's all we have time for today. There are many more interesting mysteries to talk about, so I'll see you on the next episode of Metaphysical Mysteries Explained. Please hit the subscribe button and give a thumbs up before you close off. Thank you for watching. See you next week.